I'm Ospino, and today we are presenting a business opportunity based on a real and recurring need in Cartagena. Cartagena is a city with constant social, academic, and professional activity. Every week, students and young professionals attend interviews, presentations, networking events, academic ceremonies, and formal social gatherings. At the same time, Cartagena is also a major destination for weddings, celebrations, and high-end social events. Because of this, there is a continuous and diverse demand for formal wear, both for frequent everyday use and for special occasions such as weddings and formal celebrations. However, when we analyze the market, we identify a clear gap. The current offer is highly segmented. Most rental services focus on luxury events like weddings, offering expensive and inflexible solutions. On the other hand, there are no structured services designed for students and young professionals who need formal wear more frequently and at a lower cost. At the same time, buying formal clothing is not an efficient solution. Many users only wear these items a few minutes, which creates unnecessary expenses. In some cases, users overspend on garments they rarely use. In others, they use inappropriate clothing that does not match the level of the event. These affect not only consumption, but also confidence, preparation, and personal image in both professional and social environments. Based on this problem, our project proposed a formal wear rental service designed for students and young professionals, while also covering demand for weddings and formal social events. The service provides a flexible and accessible solution for users who need formal wear for interviews, presentations, networking events, and also for weddings, celebrations, and special occasions. The model is based on digital access through social media direct communications. Users can explore options, receive guidance, and select the complete outfits depending on the type of event. One most important decision is the pay-per-use model. This allows flexibility for frequent users while also adapting to occasional high-value events like weddings. Another key decision is the use of partnerships with local boutiques. This allows the business to offer a wide variety of styles, from everyday formal wear to more sophisticated options for wedding and special events without requiring high initial investment. Cleaning services are outsourced to ensure quality and efficiency, and the service include basic styling guidance. This is especially valuable for events like weddings, where dress codes are more specific and users often need additional support. Now, what makes this project different is that it integrates two types of demands that are usually traded separately in the market, but that, when combined, create a much stronger and more sustainable business model. On one side, we have frequent demands for students and young professionals. This segment generates constant and predictable usage because they regularly need formal wear for interviews, presentations, academic events, and networking opportunities. This creates a stable flow and transactions over time. On the other side, we have higher value demand from weddings and social events. These occasions are less frequent, but they generate significantly higher revenue per transaction since users are willing to invest more in their appearance for important moments such as weddings, celebrations, and formal gatherings. Instead of choosing one segment, this project strategically combines both. This dual demand approach allows the business to balance stability and profitability. Frequent users ensure consistent cash flow, while social events provide higher margins and revenue peaks. As a result, the company is not dependent on a single type of customer or season, which reduces risk and increases financial sustainability. From a business perspective, these combinations creates a more diversified and resilient revenue model. Additionally, the operational designs of the project support this strategy. The use of digital channels allows direct and efficient communication with customers, reducing marketing and distribution costs. Partnerships with local boutiques reduce the need for a large initial investment in inventory, while still allowing access to a wide variety of styles that can serve both everyday needs and high-end events. Another key element is that the project is not based on assumptions, but on a structured analytical process. Through the logical framework approach, we were able to clearly identify two central problems, understand its causes, and design a solution that directly responds to those conditions. The matrix framework approach complements this by introducing monitoring and evaluation mechanisms through indicators such as numbers of rentals, customer satisfaction, repeat usage, and revenue growth. The project becomes measurable and allows continuous improvement over time. This combination of strategic design and analytical support strengthens the viability of the business. Overall, this project represents a strong and scalable business opportunity. It combines recurring demand with high value transactions, reduce operational risk throughout its structures, and creates a flexible model that can adapt and grow in dynamic market. Now, Carlos will continue with the legal structure of the company.
To transform this business opportunity into a viable company, it was necessary to define the most appropriate legal structure. The first step was to compare different jurisdictions for company registration. We analyzed Colombia, the United States, and Panama. Colombia was included because the project is based in Cartagena and the target market operates locally. Its main advantages are direct market access, easier operational management, familiarity with the regulatory environment, and better alignment with the business model. However, Colombia also has disadvantages, such as higher tax burden and more rigid regulatory processes. The United States was analyzed because it offers important advantage in terms of international credibility, scalability, and access to larger business environments. It's often attractive for growing companies. However, for a business in an early stage, it also implies higher operational costs, more complex legal requirements, and foreign compliance obligations. Panama was selected as the third country because it represents a tax-efficient jurisdiction. It offers lower tax burdens, simplified incorporation processes, and financial flexibility. These conditions make it attractive for international structures. At the same time, Panama is less aligned with the local operations in Cartagena and may be less practical for a business that depends on direct interaction with a local customer base. When comparing these three countries, the local decision was to select Colombia as the most appropriate jurisdiction. This decision is based on operational feasibility, alignment with the target market, and legal practicality, while Panama offers tax advantage and the United States offers scalability. Colombia provides the best balance for a business whose operations and customers are concentrated in Cartagena. Another important part of the analysis was taxation. In Colombia, companies are subject to different taxes that affect their operations. The most relevant is the corporate income tax. In addition, companies must comply with VAT and local taxes such as the industry and commerce tax. In the United States, taxation is applied at federal and state levels, which may create higher complexity. Panama offers lower tax burdens, especially for international income. However, even if a company is registered abroad, it still has tax obligations in the country where it operates. This means that a company operating in Colombia must comply with Colombian taxes regardless of its country of registration. This reinforced the decision to register in Colombia because legal tax and tax alignment is more valuable for this project than tax optimization abroad. After selecting the jurisdiction, we analyze the available legal vehicles. We compare the simplified stock company known as SEAs, the limited liability company, and the corporation. The SAS was selected as the most appropriate structure of the project. It's one of the most flexible and widely used business forms in Colombia. It allows simplified incorporation, limited liability for shareholders, and a governance structure that can adapt to the needs of a small growing business. Limited liability company also offers limited liability but is more restrictive in terms of ownership, transfers, and management flexibility. The corporation is more appropriate for large companies with more complex governance structures. It requires stricter procedures and a more formal administrative framework, which is not ideal for a business in its early stage. For these reasons, the company will be registered in Colombia as a simplified stock company. In addition to choosing the legal vehicle, it was also necessary to define the bylaws in the company. These bylaws establish the governance structures and the internal rules of the business. Shareholders are responsible for the main strategic decisions, while a legal representative manages daily operations and ensures legal compliance. The bylaws also define how decisions are made, how responsibilities are distributed, and what procedures will be followed in case of company dissolution. This includes the liquidation of assets, settlement of obligation, and distribution of remaining resources among shareholders. This legal structure is appropriate because it provides flexibility, legal security, efficient decision making, and a strong foundation for the future growth.
To support the operation of the business, we analyze different organizational structures. We evaluate functional, divisional, and matrix structures. The functional structures was selected because it is simple, efficient, and appropriate for a business in its early stage. These structures allows the company to manage both frequent operations and more complex events such as weddings through clear roles and coordination. The main roles include the general manager, operations manager, marketing manager, financial manager, and customer service. Each role is designed to support both daily rentals and higher demands events, ensuring efficiency and service quality. Now, Carlos will explain the payroll and how this structure supports growth.
In addition to defining roles, we develop a payroll projection to ensure that the organizational structure is financially sustainable. The payroll is expressed in monthly values and divided into two stages, pre-operational and operational. In the pre-operational stage, the company works with a reduced team in order to minimize fixed costs while validating the business model. At this stage, the general manager assumes multiple responsibilities, and one support role combines marketing and operational tasks. The total monthly payroll in this stage is 4 million Colombian pesos. Once the company enters the operational stage, the structure expands in order to improve the specialization and efficiency. In year 1, the monthly payroll is 7.6 million pesos, and year 2, it increased to 8.6 million pesos. In year 3, it reaches 9.9 million pesos. These values are based on Colombian labor conditions and include the logic of gradual growth, legal contributions, and increasing specialization. This projection is important because it shows that the project has not only been designed as a market opportunity, but also as an organization that can grow in a controlled and sustainable way. Overall, the select organizational structure supports the needs of the business in its early stage and provides a solid foundation for future expansion. Taken together, the legal and organizational decisions strengthen the viability of the project. They ensure what the company can operate with clarity, efficiency, and long-term sustainability.